a new guest on. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Uh, Iceman, otherwise known by Ivan Root, CEO of Battle Coliseum Underground Battle Rap. Yeah, let's go. Let's get into these topics.
Let's go. I was gonna be dramatic, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay. And so we'll get into his battle rap stuff and all that stuff, in the future. But
Uh-huh.
or would you like to get into it now or in the future, or how would you like to?
No, I want to get on the topic. So what we're talking about
Okay.
today, I want
Cool. Okay, so before this get too old, which it can never get old, I kind of want to talk about dating and what is socially norm within dating, or do we allow social media to kind of shape what we do as men and women in dating? Because I feel like a lot of uh, ideologies that some of your gurus had, a lot of people say that's what they all do, or if you got these video vixens on online with a certain standard or whatever, people think everybody's like that, but I don't believe that. um Going around recently has been a list basically is a group of women, or of a group of women on Facebook, who put a list of places where they would not want to go on the first date. And I feel like everybody should have their standards, and they should date men that are going to give them that standards, but you can't put that umbrella on every woman. You should date your wage, or date socially who would like you or whatever, because everybody has their own standards, and I don't feel like that's bad for anyone. And I remember this pastor saying years ago, don't lower your fence or the dogs will jump in. So you can't have standards too low, but you can't have, I mean, you can have standards where you want them, but too low for you, I guess, right? So some of the places on this list, actually, I have a little clip on.
Okay, in response to the list of where women don't want to go on the first date, there are women who feel like none of the places listed are adequate for a first date. If this is you, if none of these places will do on a first date, where would you like a man to take you on a first date?
Tony Baker, on social media. He's a comedian or whatever. He's a vegan comedian. So I think him and his wife are newly vegan, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it says, here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go. And women, and you can't put all women under this bubble, because most men don't even want to take women out at all. And that's the frustrating thing. Like, in this day and age, especially the younger you go down, like, young men do not want to take women out. They literally will be like, you want to come on my house or your house, or let's go to the park. What? I don't know. I have my standards too, but I feel like people should date these days. And I think it depends on why you're dating. If you're dating to have relations, it's different for if you're dating to actually have a relationship. And so I think every realm is different. I know me myself in dating, if we're in a relationship and stuff like that, I pay, you pay, that's fine. But I feel like on one hand, men want to be kings of the household and want to be the head of the house. And then they want to go 50-50, which I don't have a problem with, but whatever. So if you want to be 50, I guess I don't understand if you want to be the head of the household, and you can't pay the first date. So I would ask that person, what does it mean to be the head of the household? Like, what would you want that woman to be, and what would you want to be within that household? I guess we can kind of go through that a lot. I mean, it's a lot
stuff to get on.
you
All
can
right,
get with
so
that.
my perspective from a guy's point of view, with the younger men, and the older guy, maturity. The younger wise, you don't really have your money together like that, to be honest. Like, everybody know when you young, you in college, you ain't really got money like that. Or even if you're not in college, you working, you trying to get your stuff together, you still trying to figure out what it is you want to do and what you're trying to do for a good majority. So you going out on a date, y'all need to have conversations or communicate it so you kind of know where he's at and what he's dealing with, so you know what you're dealing with. Women know what kind of guy they're dealing with before they're going on the first date. You
That's
need to have
true. Well, kind of, a little
when
bit.
you
Hopefully,
on the phone with the person to kind of see
yeah.
where they're headed, see where they're at financially, if they're stable, whatever, to go on a date. If a guy's serious about taking you on a date, he's gonna plan, he's gonna make the time, he's gonna set
Hmm.
the location. If he plan on taking you on a date, he's already got it in his mind that he's taking you on a date and he's gonna have money set aside for the date. Period.
Right.
Somebody has to tell him about that, you know.
So
But
what do you think about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, it also go the other way around.
Hmm.
Let's say a chick want to go on a date with a guy, fine. That she does all the planning, all this other stuff. But I'm like, how come both parties just can't go Dutch? He pay for him, you pay for you, and leave it at that. Stuff would go a lot smoother if women was paying for their own meals and guys was just doing their thing. It all depends on
I
how y'all handle
I honestly think that women should have the money to pay for themselves just in case something go awry. But I feel like, and this is just me. I feel like if a man if he asks you on a date
mm-hmm.
and he can't financially do it, it's like, if I'm looking for a relationship and a partner to potentially be with for the rest of my life, and this goes a lot of different ways, because especially if you're a man dating multiple women, you're paying for multiple dates, and I understand and I get that. And me and my friends and brothers and stuff like that, we've talked about that and stuff like that. I'm paying, if I'm dating, it's different from if I'm in a relationship. But I feel like if I'm dating in a relationship as a woman, it's different too, because if I'm in a relationship, so it depends on if it's my payday, your payday, what our tax bracket looking like if we're gonna pay. I've been with men who wouldn't let me pay. Like, absolutely, you are not. They would look at me crazy, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you like, they felt like they weren't a man if they didn't pay. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I think it depends on the guys too. I think some guys are cool with 50-50. Some guys are like, nah, I'm the man, I'm gonna pay for this. Don't worry about it. Put your pocketbook up. So I think it all depends on who you're dating. And that's where conversation comes in play. I feel like maybe people don't talk anymore. And before they get into a relationship necessarily, they may want to, or not get into a relationship, before they go on a date, you may want to have a good conversation with that person, because you may not like them anyway to even go on a date and sit there.
Right. Right.
So come on, talk to somebody first. And I think what happens is, in social media age, which we're in the social media age over there, in the social media era, I feel like, people boom, 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 going date after date after date. People go on 5 days in one day. This guy told me the other day, he said it was a girl, and he said she was a bad bitch too. She was like, she had her titties done, she had her butt done, flat stomach, all this, that, and the third. She brought 5 men to the club acting like she was on a dating game, and she had all of them like sitting by each other. He said 3 of the guys actually sat there to kind of like vie for her attention, and he was like, what? Like, could you imagine that? What would you do? You would leave or what?
I left.
Like,
Left.
what?
Like, I get it. I get it if you're dating, right? But you're supposed to have my solo time. Get to know me.
Right.
You got all of us there. I'm like, oh, well, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate myself out and get myself out of y'all 4 guys. I didn't come here for that. You know what I'm saying?
She took them to a hookah lounge.
Yeah,
I was like, I couldn't imagine.
She got a potential 3 candidates, but then them 3 guys know what they're dealing with too.
I couldn't even imagine dating. If a dude did that to me, had 5 other women in the same restaurant, hookah lounge, or whatever that I'm at, club, or whatever the setting is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I would, first of all, I would leave, but I couldn't even imagine like being in that situation. But back to the topic we had was, some of these places I feel like are pretty good restaurants, and so maybe I don't know. I want to see the women who, first of all, I want to see the tax bracket and the women who wrote this list. I know the couple girls that I seen that wrote the list, they're like hairstylists, and hairstylists can make a really good living or whatever. Especially, I mean, for putting one wig on, you charge somebody $200 just to glue the thing on. So
Right.
I mean, they could make good money, but this list is ridiculous. Okay, some of the places on the list is the Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, um, Starbucks. I'm sorry, it's very small. Coffee dates, ice cream, family functions. Some of these I agree with. Some of them I do agree with, but some of them sound
I
fun.
think some of them are over exaggerated because are these actual potential dates or these actual potential first time meet and greet areas?
It says first date.
So an actual first date. All right. With that being said, you shouldn't be taking your first date out on Chipotle. That's a no-go.
I agree.
Starbucks
Or
is
your
a no.
house. You
Starbucks is
been a first date at your house. What?
At your house. That don't make sense at all. A couple. I think you had a couple other ones. A couple of other ones. I agree are a potential good first dates depending on what time you're going.
Because I mean, Denny's, IHOP, and stuff like that. If
It's
we
breakfast
well,
time.
that would be only if maybe I met you at a bar or something, and you be like, I mean, you cool in a mug. Like, let me go. Man, let's continue our conversation and eat some breakfast. And you know what I'm saying? That would be straight, but
IHOP, Waffle House, Denny.
yeah, Denny's or something like that. The gym is kind of like
the gym.
I don't care. I wouldn't want no first date at no gym. No, the church. I won't no first date at no church. Like that's absurd. We can go to church, but our first date at a church, come on, that's crazy. I think
ain't too crazy, but I get it. I get the logic behind it. Like actually, you got dressed up to go to church. Like, nah, we're not doing that. Not that.
I mean, the idea of it is cool, but I wouldn't want to go on a first date to the movies. Actually, I remember like 10 years ago, I did do a first date at the movies, and I did meet them online, and it was the most raunchiest thing ever. It was like, so you think you finna just get some draws like at this movie theater, sir? I don't even know you. So I mean, yeah, some of these things I can understand.
4 or 5, you do the movies. 4 or 5 when y'all comfortable with each other, and y'all,
Exactly. So we know each other, and we know we probably done talked about it or whatever. So I can understand, but not the first date. No.
Correct.
Okay, so on this list of ones that I would say for me would be okay, and I've been I've been upper middle class to middle class. I don't know, but I know what the tax brackets are or whatever. I've made a lot of money and I've made a little bit of money, but the places that I would go to no matter where I am financially is I would go to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date. I think Red Lobster is cool for the first date. If it was somebody that I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like them, but I'm gonna go see, I would do Starbucks, and that's just because I'm like iffy. I don't really want to sit with you too long anyway. So I would do ice cream or Starbucks if I'm iffy about it. First date for bowling would be fun on the first date. Sports events would be cool. I feel like sports events, a lot of them cost like a little bit of money depending on the tickets and stuff like that. So I don't know the only way that because my cousin, she gets like executive seats and stuff like that. I know a couple people get executive, like their execs at their jobs be like giving them free seats. So if we was chopping it up or whatever, you like, man, the execs at my job gave me, a couple of free tickets to the game tonight. You want to go? I would be like, hell, I'll go. So I wouldn't turn that down. Like, I think that's crazy. some of these things I just want to have a conversation with them and ask them what made them put that on the list. And I want to see what, and a lot of the women that have that mindset don't even go on dates, or
Correct.
they're like I don't call them hoes, but they like a lot of it's some hoe shit. A lot of the shit be hoe shit, like for real. Like you want
tendency like that.
Hoe, no. On social media, it's some hoes on there, and it's funny because I try not, because on my social media I be looking like dudes be putting like them eggplant emojis on there, and I'm like, where we going with this? Because I know it is a lot of women who are on OnlyFans who are doing stuff like that, and I was like, I'm not her, so how? And then I look at her, the I'm talking about, the women who do promote themselves, selling themselves, or whatever, sexually, whatever the realm of it is, they sell themselves sexually, whether they're whatever it is, or whether they're part of the sex industry, and that's a whole umbrella of stuff. And I don't even, I feel like I'm always, some guys just like being raunchy.
All right, so
if you know them in real life, they not like that.
Right. So I think it's the women that probably came up with the list. They're aiming for a specific type of person. So if you're aiming for a big time baller or something like that, of course they're not going to them type of places. But your average tip of the meal guy, you're going to them average places right there. Like you want to go to this 5-star restaurant with these $100, $80 plates and stuff. That ain't gonna be me. I'm telling you that right. That ain't gonna be me. Now if we together, yeah, we're going together. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you. You know what I'm saying? But first date, no, I'm not spending no $100-something on the plate. Nah. Because at the end of the day, I still gotta go home. I still got bills. I still got stuff I gotta do and maintain. And I'm like, me spending that on a plate between two people, and that's gonna be $200 just for you to burn off maybe a week later. I ain't gonna do that. Because you ain't really trying to get to know me. Are you going because of the meal? But if you're looking for a baller, that's gonna be out my bracket anyway. I'm like, go for the guy you're looking for. That's way out my tax bracket anyway.
I think a lot of times I'm trying to think like what I don't know. I think the whole
and call them or guy, ask them what they want for lunch, and then going out to go eat with their significant other for lunch. These are the same women that don't have that type of relationship or dating somebody that's willing to do that. Like, hey, I know you got a different schedule than me. How about we gonna do lunch at Gringos? Boom.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. But you want to go for the high dollar. Most of that stuff you can't go to that in the daytime. You got to go to that stuff around nighttime to go to them places. Because half of them places don't open up till after 3.
Well, yeah, or like 5. So I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't we I feel like we shouldn't let social media kind of. I think a lot of times we as a society let social media kind of shape how we think about others, and we kind of adapt that to ourselves, and we shouldn't. What do you like? Because I feel like I feel like a lot of those places women would go to for sure. And
I put it like this: most of the places that's on there, is places because most places I would take them places. They would take my mom to go out to go eat if she was in the city. So I'm taking my mom. I'm just saying. Some places I'm taking my mom. I'm not taking my mom to the $100, $200 restaurant. My mom's going to do that, but I don't want to eat that. I want some food. I don't want to eat it. She don't want to eat stuff she can't pronounce. She's been there before. Be like, I don't want that. It's more about the quality time she's spending with her son and the time that we spending together. And I thought that's what it was about, is to getting to know the person, not to find out where their finances at. You got a person that just goes on regular dates. This boy might be a millionaire, but he just likes going to these regular restaurants. He don't like them $100 restaurants. He wants to go eat some real food.
That's true. And a lot of times that stuff is very unflavored. It's like, can you give me some salt, please?
Oh, we have no.
Do you have hot sauce?
So they give
I
you
think
this
that's
small
really why
food.
Beyonce keeps hot sauce in her bag, because going to expensive places, they do not
Have seasoning.
season their food. So I would keep salt and hot sauce in my bag too. People thought it was because she was trying to be cute. No, it's because she know what it is going to them expensive
All right,
restaurant.
so what would you like to have? I gotta take you to an expensive, super expensive restaurant, whatever, once a week or whatever, high dollar, you know what I'm saying, blowing bag on you, or the guy that's taking you to regular restaurants with consistency.
I think I would want him to take me to the restaurant that I asked him to go to. If because I don't eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
That those restaurants ain't gonna be doing nothing but give me vegetables and fruits anyway, and so it'll be flavorful fruits and vegetables. And so I don't know. I think it depends on the restaurant that I want to go to, because a lot of them don't have options for non-meat eaters. So
Correct.
I don't know. I would have to like research to see who got the best vegan food or vegetarian food or plant-based meals, and kind of go from there. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm always the cheapest date people ever have. I'm like, girl, you got what? Your meal was under $20. Even when I go to a Ruth's Chris, a Benny Hanna, any like Frego de Chao, my meal is cheap. My meal is $25. Like, my meal is never expensive. The guy always spends more money than I do, for real. And so I don't know. But anyway, that's our topic for today. Thank you. And this has been Sugar Sugar and Mr. Ice.
I can, yeah. Battle Coliseum.